Hello again. Now, one of the biggest moves from President Ramaphosa last night was replacing Lindiwe Sisulu with Patricia de Lille as tourism minister. With de Lille in the lead, what are some of the expectations now coming out from the industry? Well, let's discuss this with Marc Wachsberger. He's CEO of the Capital Hotels and Apartments. Marc, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. I hope I didn't butcher your surname, sir.
No, you did very well, Dan. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'm relieved. Okay, so tell me your overriding reaction around the fact that now your industry has got a new Minister of Tourism.
Look, it was expected that we would have a new minister. I think our previous minister didn't, quite frankly, do enough for the industry. And we were waiting and looking forward to this reshuffle, quite frankly, because for us, it's all about back to the basics. Just do the basics, stop with what we say is scoring own goals, excuse the pun, around the football fiasco that we had. For us, it's the basics. It's get e-visas done, and it's get safety and security in order in this country to the extent that it affects tourists. That's what we need. This country will perform by itself. We have the best assets. We have a really weak currency. Will do well internationally if our tourism minister can do the basics, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, what does getting the basics look like?
Yeah, like I've said, there's two main priorities. These are not new priorities, and it's all about execution. The visas, the e-visas, has been something that's been spoken about for 5 years. This is something that other countries have been doing for maybe 7 or 8 years. And it's really important to be able to bring foreigners into the country without any friction. There's stories about people in China who want to get a work visa for a short stay. Let's say they're working on a project in South Africa. And these are our clients, by the way, because we're in the hotel and apartment business. And sometimes we'll have people who'll come and work with us for 2 weeks on a project. And the story we hear, and we've heard this for 7 years, is that they have to go to a different province in order to just make an application for a visa and then go back to that province to collect it. And sometimes that can be a 2-hour flight in Chinese terms, and then only make the trip here. So what ends up happening is this is a friction that stops tourists from coming to the country. It's not new, but there's never been an execution to actually implement something that has been done around countries worldwide really successfully. And we're just saying, please implement. You've made this promise. Please just implement it.
Now, Patricia de Lille is coming in. You expected a change. You say you were not happy with the previous minister, Lindiwe Sisulu, in this role. Where would you want her? I mean, we live now in a post-COVID world. We know how COVID affected the tourism sector globally, not just in South Africa. Where would you want her budget to be focused on? You've mentioned e-visas, for example. Maybe it's to enable that she should really be focusing on. You've mentioned the issue of safety. I mean, what would you advise her if she said, hey, Mark, I'm in here, I'm new, what do I focus, where do I focus my money on?
Yeah, so the e-visa is critical, but the whole experience going through our airports is right now a terrible infrastructure experience. We've just been recently traveling to Dubai recently. It's the most phenomenal experience, right through from visa application, right through to being received, both safely and securely and cleanly and efficiently. That first impression of the infrastructure in first world airports. We were excellent, by the way, in 2010. I remember for the World Cup soccer, we had just built our new infrastructure, our new airport. Today, it's really old, and it really is a difficult arrival experience going through Home Affairs. There's still queues. We're hearing about systems being down. So if I was the minister, I would focus on those basics around the infrastructure and the technology, including the visa technology, to support that infrastructure, and actually don't get caught up in some of these other quite a lot of more difficult and nuanced things. Do the basics is all I'm asking.
Yeah, well, what's your view? I mean, you are CEO of a big hotel group, the Capital Hotels, and you're very family active in the market in this industry. What's your view about what happened just a few weeks ago regarding the Tottenham Hotspur deal?
I think it's an absolute fiasco, and it holds us in a bad light as a brand, South Africa. I think it really holds us in a bad light, and it talks about, to me, the corruption that's systemic in this country. And what's happening at the moment, if you think about international people traveling to South Africa, they love our weak rand. They come and stay at our hotels, which are really affordable in Cape Town in particular. In dollar terms, it's actually just downright cheap, and people want to come, and they want to come in droves. But they, of course, are being pushed away by this talk about load shedding and this talk of corruption. And when they hear in the media headlines things about Tottenham Hotspur and that's our focus, I think it just really affects brand South Africa. And that's why we're saying don't score these own goals. That's an own goal. Just do the basics, do the basic tourist marketing. Let's not do any of this fancy stuff. Just do the basics. And we're seeing, by the way, a great recovery in the hotel sector today. We're actually seeing the performance of our 12 hotel assets across. We're in Durban, we're in Cape Town, we're in Joburg, we're in Pretoria, and we're in Bombela. And every one of the cities is actually recovering really incredibly well. We are so resilient as a country. And what we just need is we need to stop having the impediment, actually, never mind the assistance of our tourist ministry.
Yeah, stop scoring own goals, to paraphrase you, and focus on the basics. Hopefully, Patricia de Lille is listening. We'll have to find out what the way forward is. Thank you very much, Marc, for your time this afternoon on Today. He's, of course, the CEO of the Capital Hotels and Apartments, just giving us part of the industry's reaction to the fact that Patricia de Lille is the new Minister of Tourism and what they would like her to focus on.